Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs women. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. So I've just arrived at Stamford Bridge, just bumped into Spurs fan Dean. Dean, how are you?
Yeah, not bad at all, Chris, not bad at all.
One win here in 34 years.
Yeah, we own one, especially after that place, that down at the lane where we just went straight into their game plan. They wanted to trip us up and keep us like, you know, it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
One win here in 34 years, Dean. Not good enough. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I mean, it's not. I mean, the team's changed over the years, so it can't be the same.
Different managers, different players. Yeah.
So it's either got to be the mentality. I mean, they're up for it all the time. Same as when we go to West Ham. They're up for it all the time. I can't understand why we're not. It makes no sense to me. As a Spurs fan, the ones you want to win.
Don't shout that out so loud.
We don't care. We don't care. But no, these are the ones you want to win. You want to win here, you want to win at West Ham, and you want to win at Arsenal. They're the ones you want to win.
We want to win them all.
Yeah, but we're never up for it for some reason.
Pochettino obviously wants to win as Chelsea boss. What do you make of him being at Chelsea, Dean?
It hurt first off, but then when Chelsea were doing so badly, I thought it was okay. I kind of thought it was okay for me.
Yeah.
But I just want to see a little bit more passion from our lads. I want to see some more passion from Ange than anything. I look at him when he's standing outside the dugout, and it's like looking out to sea, remembering his childhood, because he's always got his hands in his pockets, and I've told you what to do. If you're not doing it, that's down to you, not down to me.
It's hard to celebrate some goals though with VAR at the moment, but that's a whole new, that's another whole conversation. We've got injuries. Chelsea have got a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Apparently they're down to 11 first team players. How do you see this game going tonight?
I still think it's going to be a tight game, but we have got to sort of use a bit of mentality. We really have. We've lost all our left side, which is going to be quite hard.
Yeah.
You've got to keep Cole Palmer quiet, otherwise he just
How do you do that?
I don't know, he could just bosses the game. I don't see how Man City would let a talent like that go. It makes no
Incredible.
sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, without him in the team, Chelsea just look ordinary. With him in the team, he's a totally different player.
Dean, enjoy this evening. What score prediction are you going for?
I'm going for a 3-1, that's.
I'm going to go for 3-3. I think it's going to be a highly entertaining game for the neutral. I think it's probably going to be nervous for Chelsea fans and Spurs fans, but yeah. Goals galore.
I do hope we come out like fighting in the first half though.
Of course, same. First half performance, that's exactly what we need. Come on you Spurs. Dean, great to see you again. Come on.
Come on.
Johnson. 23, Pedro Porro. 29, Pat Saar. And 37, Nicky Van der Beek. 18 for this evening. Number 20, Georgia Petrovic. Number 42, Alfie Gilchrist. 14, Trevor Delamar. Number 3, Mark Cucurella. Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur, a London derby. Under the lights, Stamford Bridge, this is our opportunity to make a difference, make your voices heard, and get behind your Chelsea.
treble sub.
Number 5, yeah. Your Chelsea goal scorer, number 15, Nicholas Jackson.
Dan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a great night for us. Didn't really reach the levels, anywhere near the levels we need to get a result here tonight. And fair to say, we didn't play anywhere near. As I said, the levels to get something out of the game, and probably didn't deserve it.
You look like obviously really frustrated as the game was going on. Is that one of the most difficult, frustrating evenings you've had since taking over?
Yeah, look, I mean, it wasn't a great night, and it's fair to say we didn't play anywhere near the sort of football and didn't have the mindset that I expect us to have. So that's on me. I've got to take responsibility for that. Ultimately, I'm the one that's putting them out there, preparing them for it, and when we're that we're so far off it, I've got to look at myself and see how I'm preparing this team for it.
What do you think the problems were today? Try and put your finger on it.
There was, like I said, we lacked a real sort of conviction and positive mindset in our football. We just didn't really have any fluency, any sort of aggression with and without the ball, and it's a bit unlike us, but because if nothing else, we've always been very competitive, and especially in the first half, it was missing today.
Just pretty rare in your recent career to have 3 defeats in a row. How testing is this period proving to
I don't. I mean, it is what it is. I don't sort of think of that in those terms. Like I said, my responsibility is preparing the team every game to make sure we reach certain levels. We didn't do it today, so that lies at my feet, and I've got to fix that.
And why was Madison not in the team today? Was that fitness thing, technical thing?
No, I just thought we needed to freshen up the team. I thought we going to need some legs today. Obviously, they've got a real sort of, mobile and quick front 3-4, and I just felt we needed some legs in the midfield. And with Biss and Pape coming in, Decky in there, I thought it would help us. Fair to say, it didn't work though.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We'll start on tonight's game. We'll start with Jerry.
Maurizio, was that as satisfying a win as you've had this season?
I think for me is the best game. I don't know. Sorry, maybe I don't know if it's the best game, but of course that the most happy I am after, because in the way that we play, in the way that we compete, that is what we wanted from the beginning of the season. That is that we want to apply to the team, and of course today we were so competitive. In this way we can grow, we can do better, we can improve in all the areas.
Liam.
Hi, Maurizio.
Hello.
In matches like this, how helpful is it to have players like Conor Gallagher and Trevor Chalobah who grew up at Chelsea and understand the rivalry with Tottenham in matches like this?
No, they were fantastic, of course. Always we talk about the identity of the clubs and players that grow on the club and came through the system of the academy system. I think they have the capacity, in this type of game to give a little bit more always, because it's emotional. But that doesn't mean that the player that maybe arrive from, not through the system of the academy, don't feel the same, because you can see Thiago how emotional is now, and how you can build this bond with your team. But of course, in that case, as you say, they were fantastic. But the whole team was fantastic. But of course, Trevor and Conor, they were amazing.
Jacob.
So you've had a lot of setbacks this season, but are you starting to see a team now that's really playing in your identity?
No, but we were talking a lot because Jesus is always with me. I think it's a group of players that they didn't suffer injury, and you can see today in the way that they can, work, the work ethic and like this. It's true that I was a little bit unlucky from the beginning of the season, that we suffered some, for different reasons, some negative circumstances, injury that never we were capable to work, to work with the whole team in the way that we have the capacity to work, and that also that happened, and it's not easy to create a competitive, group of players that can, go to the pitch 100% feeling really, in their best form, always with circumstance. But I think today, in the last few weeks, I think we are trying to find this balance, and people start to realize. Sometimes it's a process, the time that you need to, the people start to realize. I want to say Noni Madueke today, that for me, unbelievable. But if you analyze him from the beginning of the season and all the conversation and meetings and clips and videos and like this, he was capable today that, did a fantastic job with the ball, that of course is an offensive player, but without the ball, doing a fantastic effort, helping Alfie to defend in the zone, and that is what we need, for the future. Build this, spirit, very competitive. Because if we don't compete, and we have quality player, and but it's not a real team competing when we don't have the ball that we were like today. Today is a great example, a good example that when we won, we can.
Mike.
Maurizio, your first goal was a well-worked set piece. Did you suspect that Tottenham were vulnerable from set pieces because they conceded 2 from free kicks at the weekend?
No, because when you analyze all the teams, I think all the teams we concede and all the team we score from set pieces. It's about the confidence. It's sometimes about situation that, because if you like, the data and everything, statistics, you can see teams that scored in one season a lot of goals through set pieces, and the next season didn't score, and they have the same people working or the same coaching staff. Or you no concede, and the next season you concede a lot. Look, that is a debate that I am agree with Ange that was talking yesterday or before yesterday. Let us to work. Let us to to judge the situations, because today is too many confusion. It's so much too much confusion that after affect the people that take decision. In the clubs.
Okay, we're going to do one more on tonight's game there, and then we're going to do West Ham.
Before the game, there was a big banner unfurled in the shed ends saying Conor Gallagher, Chelsea since birth. It's been speculation that you might be leaving the club this season. At the end of the season.
I am not involved. I don't know nothing. I cannot tell you.
But can you just give us a sense of how important Conor Gallagher is as a player for this group right now?
I think you can see in my starting 11 that I think the whole season was always there. With all the circumstances, always was there. No, it's yes, it's important player, of course, but I am not involved in the decision. It's the club and Conor.
But you want him to stay, presumably.
I am not involved. That is a situation that they need to fix in between the club and the player.
Okay, we're going to finish there. Okay, pause there. The cameras take.
And for the passion, the energy levels just weren't there. None of them were there. What was the feeling in the ground, Chris? I mean, apart from the obvious, the feeling in the ground of the fans there. What was that like?
Yeah, James, the fans certainly tried to be positive, but of course from minute one, Richard talks about body language there. Even in the warm-up, I could tell that the likes of James Maddison were annoyed that he had been dropped. You could tell a mile away. The body language seems to be very different. That's what worries me, actually, as a Spurs fan right now. These last few games, Postecoglou in the last couple of days has been complimenting Christian Romero. I wonder how that has made everyone else feel to say that he is more advanced than any other player in the squad because he's won the World Cup. He has actually come out. I don't know how much of this you have discussed, if any, but Postecoglou in his press conference that only lasted 2.5 minutes this evening said that it's on him and he needs to go and have a look on how he's setting up the team. Now, that is going to be mixed messages again to the whole of the squad because, he said in the press conference in the embargoed section that come out today, but it was recorded yesterday, that some of the players are not buying into his system and what he wants to do at the football club. I tell you what, this is an absolute mess. I can't believe, actually, we are in May with a couple of games to go in the season. This is when things were meant to be coming together. This is when things were meant to be good and all of us feeling good about next season. And, it does look like we're going to get a Europa League spot. So, I get all the context that people have and the positivity that people have. But at this stage of the season, things shouldn't be like this. And the way that we've changed the midfield in a game like this, a London derby. Ange Postecoglou has come out today and said that his players weren't up for it today. Up for it. How can you not be up for a London derby? Chelsea, we have won once there at Stamford Bridge. I've had to put up with Tottenham get battered everywhere they go again. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm sick of going to Stamford Bridge and having below par performances year after year after year. Different players, different managers. We talk about mentality. It is year after year after year. This is simply not good enough. But I think that as you asked, James, about the feeling inside the stadium, a lot of people left at 2-0. People felt that, Spurs were not going to come back. And, you cannot keep playing the way that we do in those first halves and then expect to come back in the second half. Ange Postecoglou, as you've probably seen on the TV, he was absolutely furious, and rightly so. Basuma, I felt like in the first half, he felt like he had so much time on the ball. You can't get that much time in the Premier League. Move the ball. What worries me as well is the fact that he does not have a clue who the best 11 is. Yeah. We don't know as fans. We can't even guess who the starting 11 is going to be because it's impossible. And it's impossible to know at the moment who the best midfield trio is. We've had about 25 to 30 trio combinations in the Premier League this season. So I'm really unhappy as a fan tonight. Really, really unhappy. And it's funny because I'm at Liverpool Street now, and I've come from Chelsea, obviously at Stamford Bridge, to here, and listening to the fans, they actually felt like Spurs were going to batter Chelsea this evening. And really? To hear some of the Chelsea fans, the way that they have been talking, they were so surprised by their performance and by the result. Jackson on the score sheet again, it's ridiculous. Johnson, missing opportunities, glorious opportunities in a London derby like that. It's not good enough. Son, I don't think can play very well in this system. I think there is so much to look at. I think Ange needs to go back to the drawing board. You know, as he said in the press conference this evening, I feel like it's an absolute mess. And as I say, with a couple of games to go, I'm so surprised that we are in this position. Mentally, I don't think it's any good for any of us supporting Spurs because it happens again and again.
I think the worrying that we discussed earlier, Chris, was that when he came out in the presser and he said the majority of his players have not bought into the belief of the system, and that really confused me. But it makes sense in the last few performances. But that's extremely worrying, don't you think?
It's going to confuse the players, James. I tell you what, if you're one of the players, you know, Richard will tell you as an elite athlete, you know, if someone says you're not a very good runner, you're not very fast, and you know so and so is. How's that going to make you feel? It's either going to make you feel two ways, isn't it? It's either going to make you, you know, try even harder or think, well, sod you then. So I think it's going to give mixed signals to a lot of the people in the changing room. As I say, James Maddison looked very unhappy. And, you know, when he came on, you know, he is meant to be the lock picker. He is meant to be, you know, that number 10 who is going to spark the magic. I tell you what, you know, some of his balls today were terrible. And, you know, to come off the bench to try and show that you should be back in that starting 11, I tell you what, I wouldn't play James Maddison at Liverpool either. And that game really worries me because 3 defeats on the spin at the moment. The players don't know whether they're coming or going. Ange Postecoglou has given uncertainty to the players and the fans this evening, which, you know, as I say, I'm very surprised about at this stage of the season because we're meant to be looking forward to the project, the rebuild for next year. And I tell you what, it's put an awful lot of doubt into everyone's minds today.
Chris, I think what we said earlier was like how alarming the drop-off in some of our players' performances have been since the first 10 games. But also you look at the chances that we're not creating in the games as well. And 2 penalties all season. That's for one. So that shows that we're not in the box kind of moving the ball around, committing the defenders to make those decisions. Yes, we've maybe not had some of the decisions that we deserve. But again, those kind of, we're not taking those opportunities that we would have in those first 10 games. We're not shooting. We're not having the confidence to actually go for it until then some of the players are shooting from like 35 yards, which is terrible, like Højbjerg, Benzema, Maddison.
Rich, there were some periods of the game today where we looked absolutely clueless. And I'm thinking, have we got Nuno Espirito Santo down there again? Because that's how I felt under Nuno. You know, no disrespect to him. You know, I'm sure he'll do a great job at Forest. But, you know, for us, under Ange, and like you say, those first 10 games when we're playing the ball forward, free flow and attacking football, we haven't seen that for some time. We're losing games, set pieces yet again. You know, even for the second goal, where's the reaction? Where's the reaction? He's come off the bar and they are the first to react again. And I tell you what, we've made Chelsea look superb tonight. We made Chelsea look like a team who's in the top 4. You know, it's the other way round. And I hate the fact that we go away from Stamford Bridge year in, year out, once in 34 years. You know, if you're going to have some passion, you know, show the passion in a London derby like that. You don't need your manager. You don't need Ange Postecoglou to tell you this is a London derby. You don't need the fans to tell you this is a London derby. You should know it's a London derby. You should know how important it is to give your absolute all. And we didn't see that today. You know, set pieces again for both goals.
We're not, like we said earlier, we're not even testing goalies anymore. We're like, we get up to a point and then there's no shots outside the box. And the accuracy now, as we saw today, the actual accuracy of the shooting is woeful. James Maddison was slap bang in the middle of the goal and he blasts it over and then, shakes his head. You know, like when we do shoot, there's no accuracy. You know, we're putting balls across the box. No one's at the end of them. It's like we want to play tiki-taka and walk it in. And you need to... I just don't get it. We need to be testing goalies. It's like we're not even testing goalkeepers anymore.
And we're doing that without a number 9 that's decent as well, I think, as well. And taking Richarlison off, that just confused the hell out of
Yeah. That says it all for me, though, when we're all moaning about the fact he took Richarlison off, when Richarlison, and I've said on here many times, he's not the answer, you know, but he's the best at what we've got in that position. I mean, point from Stephen here. I don't know who wants to answer this, Richard. Has Ange lost the dressing room? Do you think there's an element of that? I don't know.
I think it's obviously confusion, isn't it? There's a lot of confusion that obviously he's trying to utilise the psychology of sport to be able to get a reaction from the players, and I think it, in some respects, is backfiring because he's saying one thing and doing another, and then because he's quite passive when the actual game's on, he's either doing nothing or then, like today, being very aggressive towards the players. I think it sends mixed messages for me. I think the mentality of the players is the biggest worrying thing.